August 2019 has been one heck of a month for new indie game releases, and today on Get Indie Gaming I'm taking you through a selection of 5 more games out this August you are going to want to take a look at. Before we do, here's a handful of additional honourable mentions. In Mabel in the Wood, you play as a young girl recently resurrected by a strange and obscure cult that lives out in the forest. This Metroidvania sees you able to shift your form into different creatures and uses a retro-inspired 16-bit look and feel. The first of 2 full-motion video games in this rundown, Erica was surprisingly launched just after Jeff Keighley's Gamescom opening night live presentation and is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. Erica is well produced and coming in between 2 to 3 hours of playtime, it's something fans of FMVs shouldn't overlook. Dark, the last honourable mention for August, tells the story of a boy called Lloyd, trapped inside his own nightmare, having the ability to bend the known laws of physics to manipulate the world around him. You spend much of your time working through lever-based puzzles that are often cryptic, but never overly indulgent. With those honourable mentions all done and dusted, let's move into the main course and take a look at 5 more indie games out in August that are well worth checking out. At number 5 and out in early access from August 28th, Monster Sanctuary started life back in 2015 and recently as late last year took to Kickstarter and brought in just over €105,000, which was over 5 times the initial funding goal. Monster Sanctuary is a mix of Pokemon monster catching and battling, together with exploration mechanics of your everyday Metroidvanias. You play as a young explorer hoping to become the ultimate monster keeper. Combat takes the form of 3 versus 3 battles, meaning you're able to create combination-based attacks with your monsters, which in turn can see you being rewarded with some of the most rare monster eggs. Each monster also has a unique skill tree, which means you're able to tailor and personalize each of your beasts according to your specific combat style. Aside from the combat, each monster has their own differing abilities in getting around the game world. This means you're only able to access certain parts of the play area once you've caught the monster with the given ability to traverse into these sealed off areas. While only out in early access, everything feels solid, looks great, and has the potential to become a firm favourite for fans of monster catchers in general.
Welcome to Wilmots Warehouse, a game for people who love to organise things. Wilmot is in charge of this enormous warehouse where deliveries arrive at the bottom and customers place orders at the top. Time is limited though because nobody likes waiting too long for their orders, so I've been organising similar objects into groups to make it easier to find what I need.
At number 4 and just out today, this August 29th on the PC and Nintendo Switch, Wilmots Warehouse comes from developers Ricky Haggett and Richard Hogg, with it published by the wonderful folks at Finji. Best described as a puzzle game for people who really like to organise stuff. You play as Wilmot, an employee of the A5 logistics firm who's responsible for organising, storing and stacking all of the products within the firm's warehouse. The products arrive into the warehouse in a random jumble from the back of delivery wagons, and at some point they are handed over to your co-workers on demand when requested at the warehouse service hatch. How you go about organising these products? Well, that's up to you. You can choose to do this via their colour, product type, or any other format you can choose to think of. It's totally up to you, but be warned, in what feels eerily, knowing or otherwise similar to reports of the workings of Amazon's behemoth storage areas, if you're too slow in locating items when they are requested at the service hatch, you won't receive the coveted performance stars you need to secure various upgrades with which to improve your warehouse overall. I'm fairly sure I'll get a real kick out of Wilmots Warehouse when I download it from the Nintendo eShop later this coming afternoon.
This all used to be so neat and easy to take care of, and now it's just piling up and I'm the worst.
number 3 and out this past week on the PlayStation 4 and PC, Knights and Bikes is a coming-of-age tale starring 2 girls called Nessa and Demelza, their bikes, and a cantankerous goose called Captain Honkers. Best played in online or couch co-op, Knights and Bikes is set within the late 1980s on an island off the coast of Cornwall down on the southwest of what we now all know as Great Britain. Like many seaside towns of the time period, Penfersey has had its better days with the economic downturn of the late 1980s, leading to financial hardship for Demelza's father, who at the beginning of the game faces eviction from his home and business. This is one of the better looking games out all year, with everything being hand-painted in what could easily pass as a child's pop-up colouring book. The visuals have that shiny, almost wax-like appearance you see in pictures drawn from Crayola crayons, and everything from the background to the characters you meet and the enemies you fight, well, they're all wonderfully put together. It's not without the odd flaw here and there. It's overly long, with some sections particularly traversing from place to place, feeling somewhat padded. You'll also either love or loathe certain audio sections, including the opening title track, and the noise the girls make during the running sections is, for me, somewhat grating. That being said, the team here at Foam Sword have pulled together a wonderful story that finally explores the notions of childhood, naivety, and adventure. At number 2, and another game launching the day this video airs on August 29th, Heaveho comes from developers Le Cartel and is published by Devolver Digital. The game sees up to 4 players tasked with moving from point A to point B on a map without falling to their deaths. While this sounds simple enough, having spent some time with Heaveho earlier in the year at EGX Resd in London, it certainly isn't a stroll in the park on a warm Sunday afternoon. Your character uses their elongated arms to grab hold of playing surfaces and each other to span the gaps between grapple points. Honestly, Heaveho is best played with 3 others in couch co-op. It's best to think of it as a similar experience to that of Overcooked. Things can easily and very quickly get all passive-aggressive as you play, make mistakes, and naturally perhaps blame everybody else for your failings. In a nice touch, you're able to customize your player character and also select avatars based on games such as Gris, My Friend Pedro, and other titles from Devolver's back catalogue. Honestly, it's all wonderful stuff and liable to become the #1 couch co-op game within the Get Indie Gaming household. It's out today on PC and the Nintendo Switch.
Hey. No one is listening.
At number 1, Telling Lies is a supreme achievement and makes its way into my all-time top 3 indie games I've ever played. It doubles down on developer Sam Barlow's previous game Her Story, with it featuring a collection of videos you review out of sequence to piece things all together. The acting is superbly immersive and stands out as the best I've seen within any game of this format, and makes parts of Erica shown earlier utterly wooden in comparison. The story and writing is as sharp as the acting, with it feeling so very personal and just so very human. In the 6 or so hours playtime, if you watch each and every clip, you thread together the sequence of events, with you choosing in which order to view the various videos. Some clips last 5 or so minutes, while others take a little over 30 seconds. Going into any specific detail of the plot would be too spoilery, although once I got started, I found it almost impossible to leave. I played Telling Lies in one sitting, and then again twice more since. I'm sure to come back to it again too, as no playthrough is the same, in what, in my opinion, is the most rewarding interactive entertainment experiences ever produced. So that's all we have time for in this bonus wrap-up video for indie games out in August 2019. Be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and as always, please click on that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Many thanks for watching. I'll see you all here soon for more indie game videos.